So we've got this assumption that schooling equals quality education. But is that true? Do schools actually provide a quality education for all students, or even for most of them? A survey carried out in 2018, it was an American survey, asked 500 recent high school students, so these are people aged 16 to 22, about their experiences of schooling. Of those 500, 37%, that's over a third, were scared of making mistakes, and that inhibited their learning. When asked how often they felt stressed, over half felt stressed most or all of the time. And 44% were bored all or most of the time in school. And then when asked what's probably one of the most important questions, which is to what extent does school prepare you for success after school? Over half didn't think schools did a very good job in preparing you for life after school. And then you've got all the stuff to do with behaviour issues. The DfE, that's the Department for Education in England, back in 2019 announced a £10 million scheme, that's about 20 million Australian dollars, to crack down on bad behaviour in schools. Behaviour in schools is becoming more and more of a problem. Over the last 20 years or so, we've seen a huge increase in the number of children who are being given drugs to control their behaviour in school. 34 times increase between 1995 and 2013. And the number of exclusions, the number of children who are stopped from going to school because of their behaviour issues, is increasing substantially. Now, in all of these cases, the problem is seen as being the child. And at no point does anybody say, might the problem be something to do with what schools are doing or what schools aren't doing, or how well schools are actually meeting the needs of young people. So I'm arguing schools aren't working, then more evidence. More and more people, and this is from England again, are choosing to home educate their kids because they're not happy with the provision within the education system. And you get more and more children being off-rolled, that is, being removed from the school register for various reasons. And Ofsted, who are the inspectors that we have in the UK, who come around and oversee schools and look to see what schools are doing and what the quality of the provision is, they say, unsurprisingly, not all children are equally likely to be affected. Unsurprisingly. So they're expecting children to be discriminated against. Now, it ought to say, outrageously, not all children are equally likely to be affected. So what we're seeing here is that some children, those with special needs, those from poorer economic backgrounds, those who are in care, those from minority ethnic groups, are more likely to be asked to leave school than the other children. Clearly inequitable. And then you've got this, the model on which our whole assessment system is based, our whole exam system, is one in which, in order for some students to do well, others have to do badly because we use this normal distribution curve. So 30% roughly of the children have to fail in order for the other 70% to be seen to have succeeded. That's not very fair either. How can you have an education system that is designed to fail 30% of the population? This book by Brian Kaplan is a big, thick volume. And I tell you what, it's really comprehensive. It's boringly comprehensive. And it goes through all of the arguments about why education is or isn't effective. And what Brian Kaplan concludes is that what schools do is they signal, they indicate that students can conform, that they're obliging, that they do what they're told, that they're reasonably intelligent, and that they work reasonably hard. Is that really what we want from the education system? People who conform, who are reasonably intelligent, and who work hard? Don't we want more from our education system than that? So I would argue that schooling does not equal quality and that schooling needs to change as a result of that.